Sup guys, welcome to another video on this tutorial series. Today I'm going to be adding a little bit more detail to how the weapons work. I'm gonna have like different damages for each weapon. I'm also gonna have one single shot and the other one fully automatic. So in today's video we're gonna set up and make our bullets shoot. I'm also gonna use some of the starter content effects and maybe sounds to just teach you how to add those. But for now I'm gonna start by adding those damage variables. So I'm gonna go over to my master weapon, and remember that our test weapons will inherit everything that will inherit the variables that our master weapon does. So what we have to do is we're gonna have to go into our master weapon and let's create another variable. We're gonna call this damage, and let's call this a float. Gonna make another variable, and I'm gonna be calling this a single shot question mark, and let's make this a new boolean. And I'm gonna just say that the weapons are by default single shot, although actually it doesn't matter because we're gonna override this on our test weapons. So let's go into our test weapon 2. This is the new one that we made in the last video. We're gonna make this one single shot, but now you can see here that you cannot see the variables here. You can either go to class defaults and go over here, or you can go over here and show inherit the variables. So these will show the variables from our parent class, and we can just set them over here. But I'm just gonna uncheck this and set them from the default. So I'm gonna say just gonna change the price to 50, add the damage like 20. Actually, gonna make this one 50 damage because this is going to be a single shot. Compile and save. Go into our other test weapon. Gonna open everything, and I'm just gonna go doing the same thing. Gonna make this a little bit more expensive. Let's say 75. Add a damage of 25, but this will be fully automatic, so leave this in check. But right now we're gonna have to do gonna have to make the things fire. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my player character, and you're gonna find what makes weapons shoot. And if you go over here, you can see that right now we are firing a trace. We're gonna leave this the same because basically the damage. The line trace that we fire is going to be from the center of our camera. The things that are going to come out of our weapon, like the effects and the sounds, are going to be cosmetic. What's going to happen is this: we're going to turn this debug off, so set it to none, and we're just going to make it so we can choose from our current equipped weapon if it's single shot and if it's fully automatic. So if it's single shot, we'll basically do what's here. If it is fully automatic, we're gonna do something a little bit different. So let's start from our equipped weapon, and the first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get the damage, and I'm just going to plug this damage over here, because remember we applied 50 as a base damage, but now we can make our weapon choose this value depending of which one we have equipped. And I'm gonna get the I have a blank here, sorry. Let me go on back and check. Yeah, we're gonna have to check if it's single shot. So let me just get single shot, and let me just switch this around. So we're gonna have to create a branch here. So if it is single shot, we can plug this into true, and I'm just going to create a new custom event, and I'm gonna say fire weapon. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to make basically I'm going to make a timer. So if that timer the timer is going to say, well, if you are using fully automatic, the timer is going to trigger, and we are going to fire a bullet every amount of time. So I'm gonna set the timer by let me say by event. And the event that I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this little thing to appear. And the time, let's say well, this is going to be, actually, I'm going to add another variable back in the master weapon. I'm also going to add fire rate. So this fire rate, it will only matter if it's fully automatic. It will be ignored if it's single shot. But I have to make this a float. This is basically going to say, well, how many bullets basically per second do you want to shoot? So if you make this fire rate 0.5, it basically is going to fire a bullet every 0.5 seconds. So it's going to fire 2 bullets per second, if I'm not wrong. So let's just say, let's just set this to a low value like 0.2. It should be fine. That's the default, but now you're gonna have to go into our weapons and we can override that. Because this is the single shot one, it won't matter. But on this one, you can override this to the value that you want. So, you know, let me just 0.25 just to make it different. Let's go back into our player character and let's get our fire rate. Now with this variable, we're just gonna plug it into here, and don't forget to check to loop this. But let me just create some space here. But now you gotta remember something. Basically, this is going to be shooting all the time. This timer, once it's triggered, it will not stop. So now we're gonna have to basically, we're gonna have to know if we want to shoot or not. Basically, for fully automatic weapons. So I'm going to create a new variable that I'm going to call, let's say, fire button being hold. So this variable is going to tell us if we are holding the fire button or not. So this is going to basically drag in and set it. If we are pressing, we're going to make it true. If it's false, we're going to, when we release, we're going to say it's false. And just delete this because you're not going to need this anymore. We're going to put that on an event. Actually, no, we're just going to say fire weapon. Actually, no. I may do something different because if we check the logic here, if we press the button, we're going to set this to true, and this is going to trigger. But we're going to be wanting to do this one all the time because we want to check for this timer. Oh wait, we don't need that, I believe. No, just let's test this out. No need to, you know. So let's fire the weapon here. Just call this event again and let's see what happens. I'm just going to turn on for now this debug again for duration so I can see things better. And so I'm gonna play. I'm sorry, let me just put this on one player again. I'm going to play. I'm going to start. You can see that we already have a default weapon assigned. I'm going to click once. So as you can see, this is the single shot weapon. Now I'm going to get the... There you go. I'm going to use this one. It should be the fully automatic. So I'm going to be pressing. As you can see, I'm firing bullets. I'm holding down the fire button. You can also... Oh, wait. Oh yeah, I forgot something. But the basic code is working. We have an error. I said activated in game. Let's just see what this is. No, okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's go back, and I'm gonna need to do something. If this becomes false, we want to basically... I created this variable and I didn't use it. So I'm going to create another branch here. Let's trigger, put this to true, sorry. And if it's false, we are going to clear timer, clear and invalidate timer by handle. So just drag this handle thing and connect it to the return value up here. And the condition is going to be the fire button being hold. And now it should be working correctly. Sorry about the mess in the graph, but you know, If you're following along under in the explanation, it should be fine. So again, we have a single shot weapon. I'm holding the fire button and it only fires once every time I click. I'm gonna get this weapon, I'm gonna buy it, and now if I fire here, I'm holding out the fire button, I stop pressing it, and wait, it's not updating for some reason. I probably did something wrong again. Wait. So if this gets released, this is going to be okay. I'm going to, instead of doing this here, so I'm sorry, just delete, actually don't delete it, just drag from the false and just plug it in the set timer, basically ignoring the branch. Just press Alt and left click to take away that node, and just drag this up here. Let's just set clear the timer when we release the button directly, because remember we are only firing this when we press the button, not when released. So this will become easier. So let's play. Let's start. Then again, single shot weapon. I'm holding, nothing happens. And now if I buy the fully automatic and fire, I'm holding the button. You can see it's firing. I'm releasing the button. It no longer works. I'm pressing again and I'm firing. So, and now remember, you don't like this fire rate. So I'm gonna put this in 0.05. So it should be firing pretty quick. Actually, no, I want to change the test weapon, the first one. So let's put this into 0.05. Play. Let's just quickly go into the wall. By the weapon, and now you can see that your weapon fires way faster now, and it works the same. So as you can see, the logic is done. Let me see. So we're on 12 minutes, so I'm probably going to finish this video by adding some special effects. So basically, every time we fire and check for damage or anything, I am going to spawn an emitter attached. So this will basically spawn a particle effect that you have. I'm going to use the explosion so we can see it well. The attached to component is going to be our equipped weapon. Actually, I don't think we can attach it to an actor, so let me get the mesh, the weapon mesh. It should be over here. Get weapon mesh. There you go. And now I'm just gonna go into this weapon mesh really quick. It won't work because it won't work directly, because I'm basically, the thing that you do, right, it's that you have your weapon mesh. Let me just see if I can find the static mesh. I'm not sure I can find it, but let's just go into some random, I don't know, static mesh. So what you have to do is go over here and you can create a new socket. You create a socket, you give it a name, for example, gun muzzle. And with this created, you can drag from the viewport to where you want it to be. And basically, you just get this name. So imagine I wanted to spawn this at a muzzle. I will get from the equipped weapon the mesh of the weapon, and then you just place this attached point name to that socket, so gun muzzle. Just imagine that this weapon mesh is the one that I just did, because if you remember correctly, we just used some random like shapes, and it's not really, if you place the thing, it might not connect correctly. So what I'm gonna do here, and hopefully you can see it, let's go back into our player character. You can close that static mesh. I'm just going to spawn it randomly at some place. I'm just gonna experiment and spawn at that location, and then you're just gonna let me just see sound. So you can spawn a sound at location. Actually, spawn sound attach might be better. So you're just gonna say the sound. I'm just gonna say it's the explosion. and the attached to component should be the same. And here you can define the same settings and such and other stuff. Just leave it like that. I'm just going to leave everything at 0. Be careful, the sound might be a little bit too loud, so cover your lower your volume, or maybe we won't have any sound at all. Why is that? Let me just go back to the player character. So we're setting this. You are spawning this sound attached. Maybe I need to uncheck auto destroy, I don't know. No, I think that's correct. Let me just basically get the name, get the display name, and just print that for me to see if it's valid, because it's weird not hearing anything at all. Or maybe I have the sounds inside the editor turned off. You probably already heard it, or maybe not, because the thing is not even firing. I may have done something wrong here. I'm just gonna type F9. This is going to create a little stop node. So in the middle of play, when the code reaches this node, the game will pause, and you'll know that it got reached. So I'm gonna press the shoot button, and as you can see, nothing is happening, meaning this one is not getting hit. I'm not sure why, because the thing is firing, because you can see it. Oh, this only plays when you okay. So what you gotta do is also connect this cast fail to over here. Sorry about that, but remember, you only casting damage if you hit a character. If not, it wasn't doing anything. So now it should. Let me just delete this. Again, lower your volume. And if I fire, okay, you can already see the effects kind of spawning there. I'm not hearing anything though. I might have the editor sound turned off, but as you can see, the logic works. And you know, I'm not sure if I turned it off. Somewhere around there. Yeah, I have the volume turned off. I'm just gonna put that lower so it doesn't ear rape you. And now I'm gonna shoot. No, I can't hear anything. What's wrong? Yeah, I think I went around the settings and turned off the volume. Because you can see the Unreal probably on your end does a little sound when you click stop. For me it doesn't, so I probably bugged the sound. I'm not sure. So yeah. For you it should be working. If it's not, leave me a comment. But it definitely should. Unless there's some problem inside the settings. Let me just see the asset itself. Let me play. Is it some problem in my headphones? I'm not sure. I hope that the recording is alright, because I'm playing the sound and nothing is happening. Okay, it's probably a problem in my end, don't worry about it. In your end it should be working fine. If it's not, let me comment and I'll see what I can do. But as you can see now, we can have firing a weapon automatic or semi-auto with some effects that should be working on your end. In the next video I'm going to start doing bullet counters and having a magazine size and be able to basically reload. So thank you guys so much for watching this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.